Paul, I know how valuable these weeks are when you don't have a Tuesday game and everyone has a bit more time to recover and prepare. How's this one been for you?
Yeah, good. Had a couple of days away and getting ready for the last sprint, so to speak. So yeah, good. Watched some games. Went to, all the staff have been out watching games as well. So I went to Burton this week. So yeah, it gives us a bit more time to prepare for this weekend's game and got everything in place for the meeting for the lads today. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Just on watching other teams, or I guess following other teams' results, because we often hear from managers that they don't look at the table and they're not interested in what's happening elsewhere. But from conversations we have with you, you're the opposite, aren't you?
That's completely untrue. No one. That's an absolute lie. No manager looks at the league. No, that's not true. No, I watch everything, or try to follow everything. And when there's Tuesday night games and teams who are 7th, 8th, 9th, or whatever they're playing, I've got the kit of the other team on with the scarf around my head, cheering the opposition on all times. And you're constantly doing that. You're constantly trying to look after your own team, your own mentality of your group, obviously. And then to be successful depends, because you're not the only team that plays everyone. Everyone plays everyone. Everyone has an effect on the outcome of your season, and every result matters, and every result has an impact one way or the other. And it might even be that you go and watch a team, or you're playing against a team in 2 weeks' time, but they get a sending off, or they get a bad result and then another bad result, and you're thinking, oh, this is a good time to play him. So I don't believe that there's any manager out there that doesn't look at the league. I mean, I appreciate it's the classic, and it is a classic answer, but there is some truth in it where you go, look, it's just the next game. That is true. You do worry about the next game. I'm not worried about what's next Saturday yet, because there's enough to worry about this Saturday. But I don't believe there's a manager out there that doesn't look at the league. That seems unreal.
How far does it go with you? Are you looking at the table and the fixture list and thinking, if they do this and we do that, then we could be here?
No, I don't get too obsessed. It's just I just worry about our group and think, like, if we do well enough. However, it's when your team aren't playing, then you look at everything else. So, like, the other night I went to a game and I was looking at the league table and how the league table looks now, and if they score, they've equalised. And it's no different. I do that in every league, even the league I'm not in, because I'm just intrigued by what's happening. And it, weirdly enough, it affects, like, for example, there might be a player that I want at this club, and he gets a release if they go down, so I check to see where they are in the league. So it's just a constant thing, really. I'm not looking at our fixtures thinking, win, draw, lose, win, 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 or if they lose, but they've got Fleetwood away, but then they've got Peterborough at home. You go insane. I just think you try and live in the moment. And Tuesday night I was at a game and I was watching other scores and watching, two teams having a right go. So I do follow it, but I'm not like, what's the best way to put it? I'm not Rain Man. I don't look at every fixture and every connotation and like that. I'm not that guy.
Let me ask you about your full fat can of Coke, Tony Springett. Had to wait a while for his opportunity. Can you just talk to me a little bit about his attitude and I guess his professionalism in how he's been for you since he came in?
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, you don't expect me to say anything but positive. It would be a bad interview if I went, what an absolute lorry driver he is. No, brilliant. His attitude's been spot on, and unfortunately, that is how football is. I have a son who plays sport. Say it to him all the time. Look, sometimes it isn't because there's anything you're doing wrong. It's just the fact that people ahead of you are doing things right. And we do, we have got very good wingers here. Dobbs is very good. Tom Barkhouse is very good. Nat's very good. And out of the four, he has had the least amount of minutes. I know that, obviously. He's also the least experienced, but he trains really well. I've asked him to, concentrate on his crossing and be more reliable on his crossing in training. But he comes in every day determined. And if you ever watch training, he is a can of Dr. Pepper in training. He gets around all over the place. But the lads have been doing really well, and I am trying, as always, to give people minutes. But also, it's not a charity. I'm not here to make everyone feel great about themselves. I'm trying to win games, and sometimes the game could be quite on a knife edge. I think Dobbs might give us something more than Tony in this opportunity, or vice versa, or whatever. So it's difficult. His head's never wavered. I try and speak to him as much as I can, and I know how much he enjoys playing, which makes it even harder. But he has been a part of most games, and I think if you're not in the team but you feel like you're making a contribution, it's easier. There's still people who this weekend won't even be in the squad who I would have no shame in playing, but Sometimes it suits other players, or them other players are just a bit in front. So Tony's trained really well. Sorry to answer your question in a very long way. Trained really well. His attitude's always been spot on. And look, you don't get in the team if your attitude isn't. So if players, and I'm not saying any have done it here, but if players go down the other route of like, I'm just going to sulk and be that guy, that's fine. You have to be who you are, I get it. But don't expect to kick a ball for me. You can go and train somewhere else, and worst case, you can stay at home. So look, the good kids play, the best kids play, and there's always a competition for places here. All the subs want to play. The lads out of the squad, like I know Chesy's chomping at the bit now to play as well, to get back in the squad. And we've now got 20 outfield players fit. So it's only Didsey who's not fit, but he is fit. So we've got no injuries. So there's problems all the time. But I thought Tony worked really hard. Like when I took him off the other day, I remember shaking his hand saying, "Oh, did you enjoy that, mate?" "I loved it, Gaffer." Like, they're the people you want to play, but they can only play if they perform. It's not, like I said, it's not charity. And he deserves his game Saturday. Like this Saturday is a completely different opposition, a completely different game. And I have to look at the team, you know, and pick the team, on who we think's going to beat Fleetwood.
I should probably ask about Fleetwood. Not on a great run right now, but they've put together some very good runs this season.
Yeah, well, we're not on a great one now either, are we? So in fairness to them, I think in the last 5, 6 games, we've only accrued 2 more points than them. And I wouldn't say we're on a honking run, but I wouldn't say we're on a great run either. So yeah, sometimes games go like that. Sometimes your performances are really good, you don't pick up results. I'm not saying their performances have been amazing, but like I played against Scott's team pre-season. We were in the same Croatia training camp. Really liked him, liked his staff. They're really professional what they've done. They've recruited really well. I know some of their players really well. So it's like a really good League One team. And you're right, sometimes, in fairness, unless you're in the top 6 or bottom 6, you are literally that team who win a few, lose a few, draw a few. On their day, they can beat anyone, as can we. So I think they come here with every away game, like every team in League One does, you know, trying to win, but trying not to lose. I think that's probably the nicest way I can put it. But I do know they'll ask a lot of questions of us. And they're different questions to what Oxford asked us, and there'll be different questions to what Peterborough asked us. So we need to concentrate on what we can do, but we always have to, you know, have an awareness of, like, this is what they're trying to do. So I know it will be a tough game. I know it will, and I think, I might be wrong, so this will be great. But did you draw 0-0 away? Thank goodness, that would have been a disaster if you'd have said no, it was a 3-0 win. So, you know, they're always, every game in this league is tough. It's tough to create proper goal scoring chances, and it's tough to take them. Like last week, we were fortunate with one of our goals, so to speak, but then Sibbs' 2 goals were out of this world. And like, you know, you're relying on magical moments to win games. So hopefully we have enough on Saturday to win.